Ladies and gentlemen, welcome today to another edition of NASCAR Heat 5 full race live stream here on the championship mode. It is a season that has come down to the wire as it is the Southern 500 now on the year. Our next Crown Jewel event, one of the last bigger races as far as Crown Jewel events go. But nonetheless, this is going to be a fun one. Racing here is Ryan Blaney as we have all season. This is the first race of the playoffs. It is Darlington, and it is another 500-mile event. So this will be a little bit of a long one. About to qualify. We're going to do session qualifying for today's race. It is also a throwback race, so we have Ryan Blaney's throwback Maytag paint scheme that he ran earlier this season at Darlington for the Southern 500. It is a throwback to Paul Menard's Busch Series days when he had a similar paint scheme right there. So honestly, they pretty much matched it almost identically with the colors, and pretty cool. So here we go in this one. For whatever reason, my TV's muted, even though it's not. So I gotta figure that out. Otherwise, I have like no sound this whole time. That's gonna it's gonna kind of be a little bit costly as far as my entertainment goes. So I'll try to fix that after qualifying. Round one here, top 24. We'll move on to the next round. Wow, Blaney's really tight. Turns 3 and 4 already brushed up against the wall, so not a good start to the lap. He might end up running 2 laps here in the first round just because of that mistake off of turn 4. We ran here on NASCAR Thunder 2004 yesterday for a 400-mile race. We were able to get the win, and in the Xfinity Series race, we crashed out with about 40 or so laps to go a couple nights ago. So we'll see how this is going to work early afternoon, late morning, depending on where you're at. Lap 1 at the line right there, 30.408. Blaney's going to try to top that. See the smoke coming out of the right front tire. He's trying to get that car to turn as much as he can. Wanted a little bit tighter of a race car, too. You guys saw how loose Dale Jr. was in the Xfinity Series race a couple days ago. Did not want to deal with that, especially for 500 miles. If we couldn't even make it a 200-mile race, we were not going to make it 500 miles with that loose of a setup. Top 24, though, for Blaney. He'll finish 19th in round number 1. He'll make it to round 2 with a 30.023, so his second lap was a little bit faster than the first lap. Martin Truex Jr., top of the charts. Joshua White, welcome to the stream, by the way. We are using the controller here today for the race as well. Round 2 for session qualifying. Blaney's going to run 1 lap this time. Advanced into the final round. A lot better in the warm-up lap than what he did in round 1. At the line now to start the lap. Drives it really deep into 1 and 2. He's trying to do everything he can right now to have as quick of a time as he had last round at least, if not obviously quicker, so he can up the pace and try to get to round number 3. It's getting a little tight in 3 and 4. Kept it off the wall, though. Didn't have to lift any extra. And now down to the start-finish line. 29.906, so about 1/10 of a second, a little over 1/10 of a second quicker in round 2. And that'll be good enough for 14th, so it doesn't look like he'll advance to the final round. And Martin Truex Jr. again, top of the charts in round 2. He looks like he's going to have a fast car for today's race. Hey, that is all right. It happens. So that's going to be it for qualifying. I need to figure out... Give me a quick moment here. Hopefully this won't end the stream. It might if I unplug it, though. I don't... Man. Gosh darn it. Why do we have to do that? Yeah, I'm not going to unplug it. I need to figure something out here with the audio. I've got nothing. Not sure. Game audio. It's gonna feel like a lot longer of a 500-mile race than usual if I don't have any sound. It's not even coming through my earpiece at all either. I don't know. There's still audio on the stream though, right? I guess I haven't really checked that. I would assume so because we're having communication at least. What is another stream without more technical difficulties? That little boy forever, welcome to the stream. Darren Dill, welcome to the stream as well. Yeah, let me know down in the comment section, just in case, or in the chat, if there's audio. Audio of not only me, but the game itself. Audio of not only... Okay, well, there's audio of me. Alright, so there's audio of me. I need... Yeah, let me know down in the chat when you can if there's actual audio of the gameplay itself then too, and we'll try to work on that going forward. But we're going to take you into today's race now after Blaney qualified mid-pack 14th. This is the opening race of the playoffs. Take a look at the notes here. Ryan Preece, Timmy Hill starting at the rear. Martin Truex Jr. starting up towards the front. Stellar in qualifying, and obviously it looks like he's going to show a lot of speed for today's race as well. Alright, let me pause it for a quick second also. Coming through loud and clear. Alright, cool. Yeah, I just need to know if we have actual like gameplay audio though of the game itself, not just me. Well, while we wait on that, take you through the 16 drivers that are locked into the playoffs coming into today's race. First and foremost, Ryan Blaney winning the regular season championship, coming off a win as well, his 10th win of the season at Daytona in the regular season finale, as he will be the number 1 seed. Kyle Busch will be the number 2 seed. Denny Hamlin will be at number 3. Then you have Kevin Harvick, William Byron, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, Eric Almirola, Matt Kenseth, and Eric Jones. Those guys all have wins, and those are the top 12 seeds. And then the 4 drivers that will start below the playoff cut line were all locked in on points. And that will be Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, and Alex Bowman got the last spot and clinched on the last day on points. So here we go. Green flag about to wave, and those 16 drivers, we'll keep an eye on them all throughout. Green flag in the air in the Southern 500, and we are underway at Darlington. 115 laps in stage 1. Oh, already contact into turn 1! Stenhouse is in the wall. There's a big crash in turns 1 and 2 already on the opening corner of the opening lap of the race. Blaney tried to get off the outside and tried to pull down in front of Ricky Stenhouse, and he just completely chopped his nose off. There's a huge crash. I mean, there was a lot of cars that piled into that. Stenhouse couldn't save it, drifted right up the racetrack and into his teammate nonetheless. Ryan Preece was right around him. Oh my goodness, that was an ugly start to the race today on lap 1, turn 1, and that was not good at all. Martin Truex Jr. was able to hold on to the lead for the moment, so he'll lead lap 1 under caution. Stenhouse still in the race. Nobody pitted there. And we'll try this again. Green flag back in the air. See if we can get a lap in this time. Wow, Stenhouse spun his tires that time. I'm sure that damage is going to slow him down. I'm surprised he didn't pit. Well, Blaney's on the inside this time. Playoff drivers with that sense of urgency. What a three-wide start to get around Denny Hamlin and Brad Keselowski as well off of turns 1 and 2, but now we're up to speed. Blaney 3 wide, looking for it. Didn't quite get underneath Ryan Newman that time. He's alongside his teammate, though. Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. will lead yet another lap. This time we get one in under green flag conditions. Wow. Blaney barely staying in front of Keselowski. Logano's not giving him a lot of room right now. Granted, there isn't really a lot of room to go for anyway around this very narrow racetrack. These cars just sliding around. Eric Almirola trying to make a pass now on Joey Logano and Ryan Newman. This car's probably a little bit tighter mid-pack compared to what you're seeing Martin Truex Jr. run at the start of the field. Oh, Hamlin 3 wide goes up the middle between the two Penske cars. A little bit of contact. That did not work out for him at all. He loses a couple spots. Christopher Bell slides it in there now on Joey Logano. A rapid start here today to the Southern 500. Right underneath Chase Elliott. Elliott's starting to go backwards. I think he hit the wall off of turn 2 as well. That definitely didn't help him. Hamlin gets right back around him. Hamlin blew an engine at Daytona earlier in the week. A couple days ago to be exact. And that ended any chance he had of winning the regular season title. Blaney just got tight that time and just ran right into Kenseth. Hamlin again trying to squeeze to the outside. And he'll make the pass, and now he goes to the outside of Matt Kenseth. Blaney doesn't even want to run the outside right now. Wants to stick right around the bottom where he's going. Less of a chance of getting into the wall. Even if it is maybe a little bit slower of a line. Once things start to space out, he'll try diamonding the corners off a little bit. It's just so hard to do it in tight traffic at the very beginning of the race here and right off that restart. Ooh, a little contact. Kenseth checked up again. Right behind Almirola. Blaney again to the inside of Matt Kenseth for position. Doesn't get tight that time. And he'll make the pass on Kenseth. Working on Almirola. Almirola with a block. Blaney going to try high into turn 1. Fakes there. And now Tyler Reddick is on his inside. And Blaney's got to hold the outside in turns 1 and 2. As steady as he can. Contact with Bowyer. Blaney got the wall. Back down the racetrack. Byron goes around. Back across the track again. I don't think he saved it. I think more cars might have piled in. A sloppy start here to the Southern 500. And that is our second caution of the early going of the race. Only on lap 10. Bowyer made contact with Blaney. Blaney bounced off the wall back into Byron, who was just an innocent bystander and all that. He goes around down the back straightaway and back in front of traffic again, much like Stenhouse did in 1 and 2 on the opening lap. That's true. At least they don't become rivals on this game. What a sloppy start to today's race. My goodness. That's going to line Blaney back up on the outside again. Green flag back in the air. Truex still in the lead. Contact with Kenseth on the restart now. Chase Elliott got quite a bit, that's Alex Bowman who got quite a bit of damage from the last caution. Everything packed together. They're 3 wide into turn 3. Bowyer got loose. Kenseth checked up. Room for Blaney to pull back up onto the racing surface. Or I should say the preferred line of the racing surface. These guys have a little bit of laps on their tires. That's going to help him on this restart just a little bit. I'd imagine he's only going to get faster over the course of the run again. It's just so hard to pass here, as we've seen already. 3 wide again. Penske sandwiched there with the 10 of Almirola. Blaney goes around. Into the wall hard. And into Almirola as well. Clint Boyer's involved. 3 cautions already in the first 15 laps of the race. That's unbelievable. The aggressive nature, as we're in the first race of the playoffs. Blaney goes around. He'll drop to the back. He's going to repair that damage while it's under 5 seconds. This is as sloppy of a start to this race as you could possibly have. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Couple cars pit there. Ryan Preece pit. He had damage from an earlier accident. Bubba Wallace also hit pit road. So did Timmy Hill. And green flag back in the air again. Still got quite a ways to go, obviously, in the race, and especially stage 1. All that track position lost now for Ryan Blaney, but he's still just charging hard. Not trying to make contact with anybody. It's just so hard to pass. The urgency is on to try and get to the front as quick as possible. Jimmy Johnson running that Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt Sr. throwback scheme to the other 7-time champs. Eric Jones now looking to make a pass, I believe, on Stenhouse. Oh, 3 wide. Man, Eric Jones has quite a bit of damage, too. I mean, there's a lot of cars that are pretty well damaged after the first 3 cautions in the early going of today's race. All multi-car incidents as well. Oh, not clear. And Cole Custer gets a little loose. Lenny kept it down on the racetrack, trying to give Custer a little bit of room to try and save it, and he did. Now, it's strange because there's some cars that aren't running any throwback schemes. Matt Kenseth, Ty Dillon being a couple of those drivers. I don't even know if Truex has one. And then Ricky Stenhouse has his all-star paint scheme. He doesn't have the actual throwback scheme, so it's kind of strange. Lenny trying to be a lot more patient than what we saw at the start of the day, but as for everybody else, it doesn't look that way. And again, everybody battling for the front, especially these playoff drivers. Quite a few of them outside of the top 10 in the early going of today's race. Blaney finally back into the top 15. It's already a long start to a long race, one of the longer races of the year. There's not too many 500-mile races anymore in NASCAR compared to what there used to be. This being a crown jewel event, it will likely always be 500 miles, and drivers love to hate this racetrack. for the drivability, but it is one of the more fun and challenging tracks out there. As you guys have probably seen already in the opening 15 laps of the race, plus the last couple days of action we've had here. Whether it has been this game or what series it has been. Martin Truex Jr.'s got a bad fast race car, though. He's led every lap so far on this race so far today. Blaney trying to make a move now on his teammate Keselowski. This guy's not giving up a lot of room on the bottom, though, on corner entry, and it's so hard to make a pass as it is. And you have that to deal with. Makes it even harder. Chris Buescher, another one of those drivers that doesn't have a throwback scheme on this game. I don't think Kurt Busch is racing his either. Strange. Blaney trying to make a pass on Buescher, couldn't do it. Clint Bowyer gets around him right on the outside. Buescher now trying to make a pass on Kurt Busch. Big run by Blaney off of turn 2. Gets right back alongside Bowyer. Kurt Busch almost got into the wall in 3 and 4. Big run by Blaney to the bottom, slides right in front of him. Clint Bowyer now going to follow Blaney to try and get around Kurt Busch. Brian O'Born, welcome to the stream. 10 people already watching here early this afternoon. Late morning hours currently right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. It has been a wild start already to the Southern 500. 3 cautions in the first 15 laps of the race. Big slide job there by Blaney. He's in the wall. That was an aggressive pass to try and get around Buescher, but getting into the wall is going to give Buescher the run now down the straightaway, but he's got some damage too that has to be slowing his race car down. Gabe Delgado, welcome to the stream. Pause it for one quick second down the back straightaway. Get my laptop on a charger before I get a black screen on my TV for the power saving mode coming on. By the way, just to let you guys know, if the audio ends up like cutting in and out a lot, or it's kind of like scratchy, like for whatever reason the microphone got scratchy during the stream yesterday, let me know so I can unplug my mic and plug it back in again to see if that helps. I didn't notice it obviously until I was done, but it did kind of not sound that great, I guess. It didn't sound very good. That's what I'm getting at. Wow, Kevin Harvick doesn't have his throwback scheme. I know he's got one in this game. It's strange that not everybody's running them. Some drivers are, some drivers aren't. We've got ours today. Big pass now for 7th. Martin Truex Jr. has been in lap traffic for a little bit now. Some of the other top 5 cars still haven't hit their first lap car yet, but they're working on it. Hey, that doesn't matter. Brian, if you can't get to it, you can't get to it. But you're here now, that's all that matters. So thanks for tuning in. Oh, Gatto kind of came down into Blaney. Blaney still trying to catch his car. I'm not sure what that was all about. Blaney was already on his inside and actually trying to get around the lap car, Brendan Gaughan, and Logano just kind of turned down right into him. Oh boy, Harvick and Blaney splitting Brendan Gaughan off of turn 4. 3 wide. Now they're side by side for position for 7th going into turn 1. Blaney slides right back in front of him. Just a wild start to the race today. And now Logano. Blaney trying to split Joey Gase 3 wide. Now they're side by side into 3, much like Blaney and Harvick did the straightaway beforehand. Ten wins on the season up to this point. And again, this is the first race of the playoffs. Need to get to the end of these races and needing to get great finishes to move on round by round. A lot of strong competitors in the postseason. William Byron, despite that damage from the lap, I believe that was the second caution of the race at lap 6 or 7. And he is still up in the 4th position. He's got 2 wins this season already. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice paint scheme. I think there's some other better throwback schemes in the field. Some of them are not being ran. I really like Kevin Harvick's Busch Beer throwback scheme to the Busch Series logo. Still 7 seconds off the lead, about halfway through the tire run. These guys should only have to pit 1 time in stage 1. Again, it was 115 laps total in the opening stage. We're almost at lap 40. Logano again all over the back bumper of Ryan Blaney. Until the lap car of Ryan Preece got in the way of Logano and he kind of faded back a little bit more. Lap traffic really causing havoc for these guys. Blaney doesn't seem to be getting through it as well as Denny Hamlin, who he's battling for 5th place with right now. Tomorrow we're going back to NASCAR Thunder 2004. We're going to be running the next race. It will be at California Speedway. Start time is going to be at noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So about an hour later than the start to this race today. Side by side for 5th. Hamlin on the outside. Regular season champ Ryan Blaney on the inside. Big slide job into 1 and 2. Blaney's able to drive that car really, really deep. Let it drift up the racetrack when he's trying to make these passes. It's been him a couple times already, but still going after it. Starting to get the hang of it, though, as this race carries forward. Again, the 3 laps of session qualifying was all he had, where he qualified 14th today. Ryan Newman up here in the top 5. He pointed his way into the playoffs. No wins this season, but having a great year nonetheless. 3 wide down there goes Blaney again. Barely kept it off the wall. Yeah, if it's Central Time Zone, it would be 11. I think Iowa's Central Time. Yeah, I just tried to organize the schedule evenly as I possibly can. I think the next Cup Series race I have scheduled is Wednesday next week for Richmond. That will be the second race of the playoffs here on the Cup Series side of things. Big run by Blaney in turns 1 and 2 to the back of Byron. And he'll make the pass off of turn 2. Clear him before he even gets into turn 3 so he can hit his marks perfectly. Still 7.5 seconds off the lead. Martin Truex Jr. is just rolling right now. Chase Elliott's fading back. He qualified in the top 10. He's back to 22nd. Oh, he got really tight there. Almost got in the wall. He's extremely struggling with the handling of that race car. Already a lap down. Truex has about a 5 to a 5.5 second lead over Kyle Busch in second. Truex dominated the Southern 500 for the most part earlier this season. Caught up in an incident late with Chase Elliott, trying to clear him for the race lead with about 15 laps to go or so, and put them both in the wall. Neither one of those two went on to have great finishes to the day. Wow, Busch almost ran into the back of Joey Gase there. That was a close one. Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney are catching Martin Truex Jr. slowly now, and I think it's just the lap traffic. Some laps are slower, some laps are faster. Truex probably just has a lot more traffic right around him, but Blaney might be the fastest car on the track as it is right now as well. But now he's battling Kyle Busch for second. Kyle trying to hang on. Blaney to the inside into turn 3. Forward position, and he's got it. Kyle had to come off the outside with the lap car of Ross Chastain running a lot slower right in front of him on that outside lane, so Busch just dropped to the bottom right behind Blaney instead. Next Xfinity race is scheduled for Tuesday. And we're still waiting on the truck. Blaney's only about 3 seconds off the lead now. He actually ran the outside in 3 and 4 that time. He's desperately trying to catch Truex before green flag pit stops. Sure. Got to be coming up pretty soon, at least for Ryan Blaney's sake. Wow, look at this heavy traffic. So this is what had to have been slowing Martin Truex Jr. down. Blaney's now trying to get through the thick of it. Ethan, welcome to the stream. Still 1.5 behind Truex. 2 more lap cars right in front of Martin Truex Jr. A little gap before the next few cars. It's taken almost this entire run just to catch him. It's insane how fast his car is. He showed really well in qualifying. He qualified on the pole for today's race. Swept all 3 rounds of the session qualifying. And even on the long run, Blaney is running him down, but it is taking so long to catch him. That was even after the field stacking up on 3 cautions in the first 15 laps. Thought that would have maybe helped Ryan Blaney, but it wasn't the case. Big run into turn 3, though, and he takes his shot on the first try. And he'll make the pass for the lead. That's going to be the first lead change of the race. So Truex leads the first 53 laps. Lap 54 will be the first lap somebody else will lead, as Ryan Blaney now is out in front here in the Southern 500. Well, we've had a lot of practice here between the Xfinity race and the Thunder 04, so you would have had to expect that we were getting the practice we needed. We had a wild race on Thunder 04 yesterday at this racetrack, especially in the last 100 laps. It was just chaotic. So many cautions. Ended up with 11 total on the day, and we kind of picked up where we left off with having 3 in the first 15 laps of today's race, but we haven't had one since. So we're running on about a 40-lap green flag run. A lot of drivers already going a lap down, only 12 on the lead lap. Most of them Truex was putting a lap down when he was leading. Much like you saw in the Xfinity race as well, the tire wear is very crucial. That right front is really wearing out quite a bit on Blaney's Ford Mustang. Stenhouse still has that damage from that same lap 1 incident. There were a couple of guys that came to pit road under the cautions too. Might be able to go a little bit further. Blaney did pit to repair damage under the 3rd caution of the race, but didn't pit for fuel or tires. Didn't want to make that an unfair advantage by us pitting for fuel and tires. And we caused that 3rd accident. Shows how treacherous the restarts are. Yeah, Darlington Raceway is definitely a fun track too. Both to watch a race in person and video game wise, just racing here. Luckily enough, I was able to go to the Southern 500 earlier this season, in 2020. It's my first ever race there, first experience there, pretty fun time. Definitely recommend it. Now they got 2 races there again this year for the first time since I believe 2003. Either 2003 or 2004. It's the last time they had 2 races at Darlington. So if you get the opportunity, it's definitely a fun track to go see. Track itself in the middle of nowhere pretty much, but it is some pretty good racing to say the least. And next year, especially when they get the 750 horsepower package back, I would guarantee that it's probably going to be even better than what it's been the last couple seasons. Wow, Blaney in the wall. A little contact from behind from Eric Jones. Blaney's car just kind of kept pushing up the racetrack. You saw it bottom out. There was a little bit of smoke that came out towards the right front after the car bottomed out, coming back off the apron. A little bit harsher than what we've seen up to this point today, and just shoved him right into the wall. 8-second lead on Truex. And again, green flag pit stops are looming here in a couple laps for the 12 of Blaney at least. To wait and see when exactly everybody else will come to pit road. Only 7 drivers on the lead lap. Chris Buescher in 8th has just gone a lap down. Non-playoff driver with a great run in the top 10 in the early going of today's race for Roush Fenway Racing. But his other Roush Fenway Racing teammate is in the playoffs of Ryan Newman, and he is running in the top 5. So both cars look very strong in the early going of today's race, regardless of where they're at in the point standings. Jimmy Johnson off to a rough start today, running 29th currently on the grid. Johnson missed the playoffs as well, had a top 10 run, finished 8th at Daytona a couple nights ago, but unfortunately still missed the playoffs on points. He needed a win going into the night to have a shot to make it in. He put up a valiant effort. He was up in the top 5 in the last 10 laps of the race, but faded back to 8th at the very end. Ryan Blaney's going to pit this time by. That right front tire starting to get really worn out. Very tough pit road to get onto under green flag conditions. We'll see what he can do here. 6 drivers on the lead lap as he comes onto pit road. Not sure exactly what the speed limit is. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit, and he'll get on in time. 3 seconds worth of damage that will be repaired. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel coming. And no further adjustments on the 12 of Ryan Blaney. He will be the first of the leaders to hit pit road, and he is the race leader himself. Just less than 50 laps to go in stage 1, by the way. So he'll give up the race lead here. He'll likely go a lap down. So he's really going to need these pit stops to actually cycle all the way through. Pull some of those fenders out with the couple Darlington stripes he's had in the early going of the race. So we've seen a few drivers already get into the wall. 18.8 second stop. Yeah, pretty slow. And he will go a lap down for the moment. Back up onto the racing surface. Now, as far as fuel goes, everybody else should be able to go about another 10 laps or so. Nope, they're going to pit for tires too. Blaney came to pit road. Now it's their time to come to pit road about a lap or 2 after him. Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. onto the pit lane. Boy, Blaney got loose. Those fresh tires, but probably cold tires with all the rubber on the racetrack right now. William Byron will take the race lead for the moment. Maybe trying to stay out a little bit longer in case we get a caution. Byron's still staying out of the pits. Maybe took care of his tires a little bit better. Still has damage from that lap, or I keep saying lap 2, from that second caution of the race. It wasn't the very early going, not quite that early. Mainly because we had a caution before that at lap 1. But still has a fast race car. I'd assume that car is going to get even faster once they repair that damage under the first stop of the race. And Byron is the last of the lead lap cars to hit pit road. At least that is still in front of Blaney. Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick also still on the racetrack on the lead lap that haven't pit yet as well. They're running third and fourth. A couple of rookies. Bell has already clinched the Rookie of the Year. He is the only rookie to make the playoffs. 2 wins this season for him as well. Winning the Food City 500 at Bristol. Will be going back to Bristol in a couple races, so look out for him there. So we go there for the night race. It'll be the final race of the round of 16. And then he also won the Coke 600 in pretty dominating fashion. Led nearly 300 laps in that race. Byron finally on pit road. I was wondering how long he was going to take it. Christopher Bell's still on the racetrack yet. Reddick came to pit road the lap before. So it'll be a lead change next time by, or this time by rather. Byron still led that last lap. And now we have a caution in the middle of green flag pit stops, and that's going to trap so many guys a lap down. Look at that car on the wall, Eric Jones. So Eric Jones will bring out the caution. Christopher Bell now can hit the pits, as that plays perfectly into his hand. He was outside the top 10, but that's going to help him tremendously there. Free pass will go to Ryan Newman in 6th. Wow. 4th caution already in the race, too. Still about 400 miles remain. And Bell actually was on pit road at the time of the caution, so he will not have to pit. He'll restart in 3rd. So we got some guys on a little bit fresher tires like William Byron and Christopher Bell. Byron was still in the pits as well. He would have went a lap down if that caution came out 30 seconds later. And maybe Bell as well. Green flag back in the air, though. Ryan Blaney leads the field to the green. Gets through the gears pretty well. Jumps in front of Byron. Bell will jump up to 2nd place. Byron really stacked up the outside. Kyle Busch now to 3rd. And the race is on now to the end of stage 1. Bell almost slid into the wall. Kyle Busch gets under him. Blaney's got the clean air. He's going to have a lot better handling of a car right now compared to these guys behind him. But we'll see if Busch now can make a move as he's worked himself into 2nd. Only 3 drivers have led today, even during the cycling of stops. That's Ryan Blaney. Martin Truex Jr. led a lot of laps, led the first 53 laps of the race. Truex is still in the top 5 and on the lead lap at 5th. And William Byron, during the cycling of stops, was able to lead. Byron gets right back around Bell for 3rd. Blaney got really loose into turns 1 and 2. Bottomed out a little bit in the center of the corner as well. Bell trying to cross back over on Byron to the inside off of turn 2. They're having a good battle for 3rd back there. Busch and Blaney both ran the outside there. Busch looks a little bit lower. I think he got off turn 4 a little bit better than Blaney did. Bottom is open. Blaney keeps trying to block him. Martin Truex Jr., probably the fastest car in the field, trying to get to 3rd. Blaney breaking the draft down the back straightaway. Kyle Busch ran the outside there through 3 and 4 again. Big run, and he's there. Blaney couldn't block him. Busch to the lead for the first time today. Caution again. For the 5th time in stage 1, we have a caution. Unbelievable. We might break the record for the most cautions we've ever had. We almost did yesterday. We had 11. 13's the record. We've got 5 in the first stage. Jackman Attack, welcome to the stream. I'll play this on a PS4. Tyler Reddick is going to get the free pass in 7th, by the way. He's got the fresher tires of the drivers that were a lap down, so that probably helped him in getting that. Newman will bunch back up with the field, and right as Kyle Busch took the lead, caution came out before Blaney had a chance to get right back around him again. So Busch will lead the field to the green this time on the inside. Ryan Blaney trapped on the outside. He's kind of struggled up there on the restart so far. Trying to stick with the 18, though. They're going to be side by side into 1 and 2. A little bit of contact. Martin Truex Jr. is there also. And 2, Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas at the front. Busch tried to slide up in front of Truex. Blaney to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. now. Amari P, welcome to the stream. Here comes Byron with the run on the outside. Blaney was doing really well when he was in the lead, but once he lost the lead, again, he's back in traffic. And I'm sure everybody doesn't want Truex to get to the lead because he's got a bad, fast race car. Byron's got a little bit fresher tires, too. That's why he's up here. Oh, 3 wide. Truex got loose. In the middle, he was trying to make a pass on Kyle Busch. Busch got the run on the outside. Blaney just stuffed it in there. I don't know how they got through there without any contact, especially with how loose that 19 car was. And Keselowski trying to battle up here as well. He's the first car lap down. He's passing some of the lead lap cars. Blaney had a big run off of turn 2. He's going into 3 and 4 for the lead on Busch himself. Kyle going to get a run off turn 4 on the outside. And as they're side by side, that might allow Truex to close the gap again. Wow, Blaney got really loose. Stays on the gas and drives right out of it. Pretty good battle for the lead. Through 3 and 4 again. Blaney on the bottom. Busch on the top. Blaney just can't get the run he needs. And Truex and Byron are closing back in again. Into 3, side by side once more. Side by side for third as well. Byron to the inside of Truex. For position. So hard to pass that lead car. Now Blaney trying to block Byron. Truex keeps trying to charge back to the outside of William Byron as well. All drivers in the top 4. Top 5, really, all with wins and all in the playoffs. A win and you're into the round of 12. That is what's on the line tonight. As well as a win on a historic racetrack and one of the Crown Jewel events. Therefore, another historic race this season. Blaney going to try the outside. He hasn't done this much today, especially to try and make a pass, but he saw Busch do it. Wow, I mean, he barely got in the wall there. Busch did not give him a lot of room. Blaney charges again. Big run up the racetrack. Byron still trying to clear Truex. He does. Looks low. Blaney kind of held him up in the center of the corner. Mario, we got 10 wins on the season so far. Coming off a win at Daytona in the last race of the regular season. Big run off turn 2 by Blaney. He might have a shot to get him this time. He's got the nose out in front of Kyle Busch into turn 3. Slides up the racetrack, and he's going to clear him. Truex back to the inside of William Byron for position once more for third. Blaney back out in front here with 23 laps to go in stage 1. Tyler Burback, welcome to the stream. Really fun race in the early going of the Southern 500 today. Heck of a battle for the lead between all 4 of those drivers as well. Going to alternate to the different camera angles for the first time in this race today. See that little bit of damage on the right front. Again, a couple Darlington stripes here today. No surprise at this racetrack to see anybody get in the wall. Ryan Newman back into the top 5 as he passes Christopher Bell within the last couple laps. Andrew Hollenbach, welcome to the stream as well. And Martin Truex Jr. back up to second. He's got a fast race car. He's trying to catch Blaney, and lap traffic is coming up. That could be a factor. We saw it as a factor earlier, and we have another caution. 6 cautions in the first stage of the race today. That is just slowing this race pace down heavily. And Joey Logano will get the free pass in 8th. By racing with no sound. I don't know why there isn't any sound. I was trying to figure it out. I asked down in the comments section, but I didn't get a reply back on if there was any in-game sound. I can't hear anything, and I was wondering if it was like that in the stream too. I don't know what's going on. Like, there's no sound on my TV either for whatever reason. But I don't want to unplug the capture card because I'm worried the game might, or the stream might stop. I don't want that to happen. Green flag back in the air. Here we go again. Blaney a little slow, trying to get back through the gears. On the inside, drives it in deep into 1 and 2, trying to clear the 19 of Truex. Truex tried to cross him over, but Blaney never washed all the way up the racetrack. Ryan Newman hit pit road to take fresh tires, by the way, back there. So look out for him. Battle at the end of stage 1. 16 more laps. Oh, Blaney got in the wall off of turn 2. Truex has a run now into 3. Ryan Newman trying to work his way up through the field. He's up to 4th. He's working on Kyle Busch for 3rd. It's going to be tough to pass the leader, but those fresh tires are going to come into play for Ryan Newman. You have to imagine it would. Barely kept it off the wall there. That was a close call. Yeah, I did see Eric Eastep's video on that. Wow, big run by Newman. He wants to win the stage. He got around Truex in a hurry for second, and he is all over the back of Ryan Blaney for the stage win. Fake low, goes high. And the fresh tires are going to pan out. Ryan Newman, the Rocket Man, to the lead. 13 laps to go in stage 1. Blaney trying to keep up with him. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to. Be a huge stage win for Ryan Newman. Has a couple stage wins on the season, but that's it. No race wins, so not a lot of playoff points. Running up front the early going of the Southern 500 today. It is a good start to the day for him. Those tires are going to even out eventually. Wow, Blaney got loose in turns 1 and 2, trying to drive right out of it. Fighting the race car and driving it extremely hard to try and catch Newman. He lost so much ground in 1 and 2. Those older tires. Halfway through the run. Two seconds now off the race lead. Truex isn't going anywhere either. He's still less than a second behind Blaney. If Blaney could get back up to Newman and start battling with him for the lead, we saw how many laps it took Blaney to pass Kyle Busch even when he was right there behind him. It took him like 4 or 5 tries to get around him just because it's so hard to pass here. Only have 10 more laps. This is not an ideal situation for anybody trying to win stage 1 outside of Ryan Newman. Car's on the loose side, yes, but it's not anything I can't handle. It's tighter than what the Xfinity car was a couple days ago, and we didn't survive that race, so I knew we were going to have a tighter setup if we were going to make it to the end of this one. So far, so good as far as the handling. I don't want to knock any speed out of it by tightening it up. Lap traffic will be a factor in the closing laps of the stage. Blaney's starting to run a little bit quicker than Newman. He's reeling him back in again. Newman pulled out to a 2-second lead, and that was it. Blaney starts to reel him back. Only has 8 laps to get around him. Still just over a second off the lead. Wow, there is heavy lap traffic coming up too. There's about a dozen cars, double file, after these 3 single lead lap cars at the back of the field. This could get interesting. Blaney hustles to the outside of Josh Bilicki. Big run now by running the top through 1 and 2. Newman got caught behind Bobby Carter. Big run by Blaney to the inside into 3 and 4. This is his first attempt at it. Not going to get there. Newman gets the run off of 4. 6 to go in stage 1. Newman tries the bottom now. Oh, and he tried to block Blaney. Blaney gets into the wall. Newman to the outside of the lap cars. Blaney all the way to the inside. Three wide. Blaney takes the lead in the lap traffic. And trying to get away from the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. 5 laps to go in stage 1 with this heavy lap traffic. Haven't seen it this bad all day. Big moves made there by Blaney. Called 48, welcome. Newman now has gotten through the traffic. Does he have time to run down Blaney again? 4 laps to go. He's 2 seconds off the race lead. Still more lap cars just up ahead. First one's David Reagan. Blaney makes a little contact with him, and that's going to slow him up. Truex has caught Ryan Newman. He's only half a second behind him now. That lap traffic costing Newman so much time, and Blaney is about to be on his way to winning now. In stage 1, at least. Good start to the playoffs for him. A wild stage 1 in which we have seen 6 cautions so far in this race. And only the first 115 laps. It feels like a full race worth of what has happened here in stage 1. Both with the strategy play, the green flag stops, caution coming out in the middle of them, really dissecting the field. That's why so many drivers are lapped down. Crazy finish here with the lap traffic. Crazy restarts all the way throughout, all 6 cautions. It felt like a full race in these 115 laps, but we still got 2/3 of the way to go. Oh, Blaney in the wall again, off turn 2. Wow, big save. Comes Austin Dillon, he'll let him go. Dylan didn't get a run off of turn 4. He'll still finish a couple laps down. Ryan Blaney wins stage 1. A little bit of a scare down the back straightaway, but he'll get through it. Take a look at the top 10 who will all receive stage points here. Blaney with the win in stage 1. Ryan Newman second, followed by Martin Truex Jr. Kyle Busch, William Byron, your top 5. Christopher Bell 6th, Tyler Reddick 7th. 8th was Logano, 9th was Hamlin. Boyer rounds out the top 10. Hamlin gets the free pass in 9th. Only 2 drivers that finished in the top 10 that are not in the playoffs is Tyler Reddick and Clint Boyer. And pit stops will be coming down for the second time today. Third, I guess, for Newman. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. Or at least topping off. 1 second of damage, at least for Blaney and his team as well, to repair. Truex wins the race off pit road, gains 2 spots there. Blaney loses 2. And we'll try it again. Green flag back in the air as it gets a little bit darker outside. Big jump to the bottom. Ooh, Truex did not get to third gear very well. 3 wide goes Blaney into turn 1. Drove it way down to the inside. Truex fades back. Newman on the outside. Blaney on the inside off of turn 2. They're still side by side for the lead. Blaney side drafts Newman right back. Into 3, got tight, in the wall, Newman runs into the back of him. Back in the wall again. Truex is going to end up with the lead. After not getting into third gear very well on the restart, and he'll take off all of a sudden. Blaney tried to make that pass on Newman, drove it in deep, just a little too deep, and now he's in the wall again off turn 2. My goodness. So 115 laps in stage 2 as well, just like we saw in stage number 1. And again, we had 6 cautions in the opening stage of the race. Oh man, Busch is there. Tried to sidetrack Blaney, and Blaney was just trying to come up the track, and now Busch is in the wall. My goodness. Chaos ensuing again here in Darlington. Truex is just absolutely pulling away from Ryan Newman with that lead. Blaney's car bottoms out again. Kyle makes a pass on Kurt, not for position though. Kurt's in 11th place, a lap down. He's trying to catch the 10th place car to get back on the lead lap. I believe Harvick is the 10th place driver. Now, one of Blaney's better tracks in his career. You guys probably saw him struggle quite a bit in this race, as well as Richmond for that matter. That's the first 2 races of the first round of the playoffs. But already winning stage 1's a good start here today. Another playoff point if he does make it out of the round of 16. Blaney trying to make a pass on Christopher Bell for position. Clint Boyer's been following him for a little bit now. Followed him just to get around Kurt Busch as well. Big pass, big move there by Blaney. Look at Clint Boyer with the run on the bottom. Trying to race his way back into 10th place. See if he can catch Harvick for the spot. Well, there's a little contact there. Boyer might have slightly gotten the wall still. My goodness. Trying to again make a pass on Boyer. Clears him cleanly that time. Clint still running down Harvick slowly but surely for 10th. R6, welcome to the stream. A lot of heavy racing going on for second place right now. There are 4 cars packed together from second back through 5th. And again, that is just allowing Martin Truex Jr. to pull away further and further from this field. Harvick trying to block Blaney into 1 and 2. Big run by the 12 off of turn 2. They're still side by side. Harvick better be careful, though, because Boyer's catching him. Again, that's the battle for the free pass position. Big slide into turn 3. Blaney barely keeps it off the wall and clears Harvick. And Boyer's all over Harvick's back bumper now. Harvick stays low down the front stretch, trying to block the inside on Boyer. Boyer's got to run zigzagging around the corner, trying to get around him. Joseph Fenn, welcome to the stream. Yes, it is. First race of the playoffs. The Southern 500. Championship mode season. Playoff drivers able to get the win today. They will advance to the round of 12. Wow, huge run. Byron got caught behind Brendan Gaughan. That's how Logano was able to drive away from him. Blaney had a run, but couldn't quite make the pass. He's staying on that left rear corner panel, trying to side draft Byron, and now he has to duck in line behind him off of turn 4. Williams just beat him back to the gas. Trying to trap him now behind the 51, but instead he tries to go up the middle. That didn't work. He had to get out of the gas. And Blaney is able to use the 51 of Gase as a pick, and he's back into the top 5 again. Again, if there's no actual game audio, I'm sorry for that. I don't know what's going on. I don't have any game audio on my TV either. Which is not what I use for the game audio on there, but still. Like, for whatever reason, it's just not, like, cooperating at all. But there's still audio from the mic, which is weird. Oh, Busch to the outside of Logano for position. I think he might have scraped the wall and still got around Joey. Using the lap car on the bottom of John Hunter Nemechek as a pick. Big run into 1 and 2. 3 wide. Oh, he didn't clear Logano. Joey took it 3 wide to the outside. He had a heck of a run there, and Blaney thought he could clear them both. But Logano was already there on the outside of him, and he put him in the wall. Yeah, I've tried to work on it under a couple cautions already, but I'm scared if I unplug the capture card and plug it back in again that you guys are going to miss the stream. Like, it might cut the stream out. It's the only other thing I can think of. Logano just keeps rolling right around the outside. It's working out for him pretty well right now. Kyle Busch as well. He's been running the top ever since he even got around Joey. Big run to the bottom again. That was a big move by Blaney to try and do his best to get alongside LaJoie. He still couldn't clear Logano. No, he does. Barely. Off of turn 4 and down the front straightaway. He was able to slide up in front of the 22 car. Finally make the pass for 4th. For whatever reason, Timmy Hill tried to pull down right in front of Newman, and that costed him time too. Blaney just gets to the inside of the Rocket Man. Ooh, contact. Newman's trying to squeeze to the middle so he doesn't get caught behind Daniel Suarez. Blaney just pulls up and clears him. With a great crossover, though, Newman's able to get back to 3rd. A lot of back and forth racing going on here at Darlington today. And now Newman's caught behind a couple lap cars, and we have a caution. 7th caution of the race, first of stage 2. Pit stops will happen now. These guys can't make it on fuel to the end of the stage, so there will still have to be another pit stop in stage 2 at some point. So we have 91 laps to go currently till the next green, white, checker flag. Yeah, let me try to figure this out again here. Yeah, I don't know why it just says that there's no game audio. One quick moment again. I'm trying to figure it out for you guys. That didn't work. It's so weird. There's just nothing there. Automatically reduce game sound. No. I didn't do anything either. I'm going to try to unplug it and plug it back in, but hopefully it doesn't end the actual